consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is basically the difference between what consumer is willing to pay and what he actually pays for the commodity. Okay. See, you have already done demand is equal to supply. Okay, and that will determine the equilibrium price. Fine. See, I haven't drawn this here, but supposedly in case of the demand supply function is somewhat like this. Supply function is somewhat like this, and this is the supply function which you have, and this is this downward sloping demand curve you have here, and that determines this price P naught. And at this P naught, the amount of the quantity which is going to be demanded is, say, X naught. Okay, so the amount of the quantity which is going to be demanded is X naught. Now, you have to think that how much consumer is willing to pay and how much he is actually paying, how much worth the consumer is, how much worth of the utility or what do you say, the value which consumer is going to get from consuming these goods. Now, let me just get away with this and ask myself. Now, I have already fixed here that P naught is the price, the equilibrium price by equating demand equal to supply, and X naught is the equilibrium quantity which is here. How much is the first unit of commodity worth to the consumer? This much. Say this much. How much is the second unit of the commodity worth consumer? Say this much. How much is the third unit of commodities worth consumer? This much. Fourth this much. Fifth this much. And X naught this much. Okay. This entire region A, D, X naught, O, or what I have written A, O, C, D. This region is basically the entire value which consumer is going to get, okay, from consuming these much units of commodity. But how much he is actually trying, how much he is paying for consuming these commodities is just this much, this rectangle P naught D C O, because in order to consume X naught, he is paying just P naught. So how much is the total expenditure? He is making the total expenditure of just P naught into X naught. This is the total expenditure which he is making. P naught into X naught is the total expenditure which he is making, but actually he is getting this much of utility at least from consuming this. Okay. This is the area, that is ADCO or AOCD is the entire area of which consumer is getting value, minus the amount which he is paying. He is paying how much? He is paying this much. This much he is paying. He is paying this much. Now, even if you reduce this green area from this red area is more. Okay, and this more red area is basically consumer surplus, which he is going to get from consuming X naught units of the commodity. Okay, so this triangle, the area of this triangle ABD is the area which is defining consumer surplus. So you got the point? The point is that you go into the market, you have some demand function, there is some supply function that gives you the equilibrium quantity. For that equilibrium quantity, there is some equilibrium price. But that commodity might be worth more than that equilibrium price, and you want to know that how much is the surplus to you, how much the surplus, how much there is a surplus as a consumer to you, and that is given by this particular area. Now this is given by P equal to Fx kind of demand function. Okay. Now in case if you have X is equal to Fp kind of demand function,